So now it's time to go ahead and finish building the Micro T. And I'm going to start off by installing the on and off switch. Now you'll see when you look at the switch there's an extra prong that isn't connected to the wire. That is the off position. That's the on position. So I need to go ahead and match that up with what it says on the bottom of the chassis, and then when I do, I'm just going to go ahead and snap it in. Now that the switch has been installed, it's time to install the servo. Now you'll see that the servo has a servo horn. That servo horn needs to go into that little groove right there. Once it's in there, you got to make sure that it lays flat. Then we're going to move all the wires to the side, and we're going to install this upper plate. This upper plate is held in with 4 screws, 2 on top and 2 on bottom. After that, I'm going to flip it upside down and I'm going to install these metallic cylinders. These metallic cylinders is what the battery plate holds on to, but they don't stay in on their own. On the top, a screw goes in on each side to hold them in. Now that that's been taken care of, I'm going to flip the circuit board right on top, and then I'm going to install 2 screws, one here and the other here. And now it's time to go ahead and put on the ESC cover. And as you can see, I need to feed the antenna right to this hole in the back. I'm going to push this all the way down and make sure that the wires come out this side right here. Now this is held in with 4 screws, 2 on top and 2 on the back. After that, we can go ahead and start plugging things in. First of all, I'll start off with the servo. It gets plugged in right on top and in front like that. Then I'm going to get the wires for the motor, feed it through the shock tower, pull it on through, and now I'm going to go ahead and plug the motor in. And the last thing to do is to plug in the crystal. Now it's time to get started on the tires. So for the rear wheels, you're going to see that there is a flat edge inside of the rim. That flat edge also has to go to the corresponding flat edge on the axle. Slide it all the way down, and this is when you're going to need the pliers and the tweezers, because now you get to snap on one of the smallest E-clips I have ever worked with on RC. Once the back tires are on, it's time to move on to the front ones. Now the front ones have a place for you to put a bearing, but just like with the axle carriers, I'm going to be putting in plastic bushings since I don't have any bearings right now. Once you get a bushing on the inside and outside of the wheel, all you have to do is slide it onto the axle. There is no flat edge, so you don't have to worry about it. And just like the rear, you get to go ahead and try to snap on one of those really small E-clips. Now that the tires are taken care of, the last thing I need to do is go ahead and install the battery. The battery cable slides into that hole, you push it down and in, and then you're just going to put the battery cover on, and it's held down with 2 screws, 1 on each side. And now the final step is just plugging the battery into the ESC. And we are finally done building a Micro T. All that's left now is the body. Instead of using a stock design body, I'm going to be painting my own custom body. As you can tell, I need to go ahead and trim it out. I'm going to trim it out, figure out some kind of design. I'm going to have clear windows, of course, because, well, I think it would look really good. I've never seen clear windows on a Micro T. But we'll see how it turns out, and then we'll go ahead and put the body on the Micro T, test everything out, and I'll be done. And there you have it, guys. The body has been painted. As I said, I have the clear windows. There's a purple front with a silver back. Everything is backed up with gunmetal. And of course I have black trimming on the windows. Can you believe that? Yep, I actually pulled it off. Now it's time to go ahead and check out the electronics. So I'm going to turn this on. And as you can see, it's already working. Yes, we got throttle and the steering works fine, which is awesome. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this build series, but I am finally done.